So the other day I was having a shower, yes I do indeed wash, and I was struck by quite the thought, and I believe we have some footage of this. Roll the footage. Of course we don't have footage. What were you thinking? What kind of channel do you think this is? You disgust me. Anyway, the most worrying part of all of this was that yes, it was about wrestling. Clearly I can't get that out my brain even when I'm butt naked, but hey, that's what being passionate is all about. The more I pondered on it too, the more I started to realise that this was an absolutely bizarre situation, especially because the person it was in reference to is one of the biggest superstars in history. That was Triple H, and yes, he is one of the most confusing wrestlers on WWE TV. Why? Here's why. We should start with what the thought was, naturally, so we can try and break it down and see what the hell we're going to do about this. Because even though every now and then we may get annoyed about how WWE treats a certain character or how we would like a certain character to be portrayed in front of the cameras, when you get to Triple H, he doesn't have one character, he doesn't have two characters, he doesn't have three characters, he's got 4 different characters or 4 different personas or 4 different whatever you want to call it. And the even more bonkers part is that all 4 concurrently operate alongside each other. What? It's true though, after he reunited on Raw with Shawn Michaels recently, all of a sudden, DX Triple H was back and we haven't seen him like that for a while, so that counts. In that sense, you could also take your pick from NXT Triple H, the guy we know that runs the company we all love and, is responsible for all our hardcore dreams. And that sounded weird, I didn't mean like that, I don't mean pornographic wise. CEO Triple H that sometimes appears, to clear up situations here and there. And we also have Stephanie McMahon's husband, Triple H, who was seen on Raw a couple of weeks ago doing a bunch of charity work. How is this even possible? And it also means we probably have to change his name to Quadruple H, or HHHH, to represent each of his characters. And yeah, I said that. I can't unsay that. I've said it now, it's out there. Quadruple H. For one, what does somebody brand new to the product make of that? Imagine you saw the game. The first time you saw Triple H was on Raw and he was calling out the dead man saying, Undertaker, I'm gonna kick your ass. Okay, cool, whatever. It worked, it got me excited for the match. But then in between all of that, Mr. Stephanie also appeared to talk about Connor's cure. You'd probably be going, is this the same person? Because I don't think they're acting like the same person. And just to make it clear, I got no problem with any of that stuff. I find it heartwarming and it puts a smile on my face. When you see a kid who's been through a lot, get their moment in the sun, it's like, yeah, you deserve that. But there are absolutely 100% different versions of Triple H. Then a few days ago, he's teaming with Shawn Michaels. He's even taking one shirt off to reveal another shirt as if to give us a symbolic moment where this change takes place. And then he's taking his hands and he's crotching at his groin. And I know this is meant to be taken as someone brand new because he's got his own set of mannerisms, his own set of moves, and he even moves a little bit differently. And the thing is, if I then tune into a big NXT show, or I saw a documentary or some kind of backstage skit, there's a chance I will see Triple H running that brand. And the weird thing is, he will appear in these little segments, in these little bits, and he's well aware of these other versions, but he never mentions them. And I don't necessarily think this is a bad thing either. It doesn't affect my enjoyment of pro wrestling, and given that Triple H is basically a part-timer these days, he'll probably be gone again from Raw, and then we'll just forget about it again. He is not a big enough focal point long-term for this to be anything other than really baffling. But I really don't understand how it's evolved this way, especially because it's unique to him. When Goldberg returned, he was just Goldberg. Shawn Michaels is back, and he was just Shawn Michaels. And even when Sting jumped from WCW to WWE like 15 years after WCW died, it was still Sting. But Trips, who has barely been away from wrestling at all, has somehow become 4 people. And if you get rid of kayfabe and you look into the real world bubble, he's also Vince McMahon's right-hand man. What even is this thing? And it's not like this hasn't interfered here and there either. Remember when Roman Reigns beat him up on Raw? And it was like, oh, where's Triple H? And he was off Raw for a while, but he still turned up at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, whatever it was, to open the show. And he pretended like he wasn't injured at all, even though we were being told on a different show that he was injured. And that's because he was, but this was a different version of Triple H, as I've said, and as we're finding out right now, they all act independently of one another. It's like some kind of mystery, and more people should be talking about it, and that's why I'm talking about it now. But yes, these are my musings this week, and it may be something I can never shake from my brain, and I'm always going to think about it every time I see Triple H on my television set, and now I hope you do too, because it's important. It's not just something we can forget, it's a conspiracy theory, and I ain't going to let it lie. We are literally going to have to ask ourselves every time one of his entrance music hits, and let's not forget that too, he has different versions of his entrance that he comes out to, but we're going to have to ask, well, which one is this? And I've just realised that on SmackDown 1000, that is happening next week as I record this, or you may have just watched it, depending on when you watch this video, he's going to be Evolution Triple H. I can't, this is nuts. Ipso facto, the man known as Triple H is a hexagon. So he's Hexagon H. That doesn't work, but that's what I'm going to call him from now on. Hexagon H, he's got 6 sides, he's got 6 characters, and I cannot believe it, I cannot fathom it. Somebody go out there and figure out what the hell has happened, because it makes no sense. It made as much sense as that. Why did I slap myself? Makes no sense. But Triple H can be 6 people, I'll keep slapping myself. Now, don't forget to leave a comment below letting us know about the 6 versions, 6 of Triple H. Like, share and subscribe. Head over to whatculture.com and read yourself some articles. Maybe the answer will be there. And follow What Culture on Twitter at WhatCultureWWE. My name is Simon from What Culture. Yes, this genuinely perturbs me because it makes no sense. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.